Instagram. Okay, let me paste the comment and pin it. Pin comment. I say this every time. Hey, Sapid, Addie, maybe Addie, Anita, hello. Hi, you guys. This is so cool. Okay, so we've got a couple people on Facebook already. Woo, hello, Facebook. Okay, so we got all of you right early. Look at you guys. So what time is it where you are? Oh, thanks, Nails and Oil. You look cute today. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so nice. Okay, so I want to get started with a couple things while you guys are all joining. Let's see, where do I start? I am going to start with an eczema story. My sons, two of my sons have eczema, and so I'm going to circle back to how this relates to our oil. It's 20 o'clock, says Jenny. Let's see, so two of my sons, so my eldest and my middle son have, and I have four children. Oldest daughter is off down in California and enjoying, she's got nicer weather than we do. It's already started the long rain in the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, so these two boys, so Mr. A and Mr. D, as many of you know, I seem to call them that, but Andrew and Dane. Andrew is actually allergic to water. There is a name for it, I can't remember. But what happens is when he takes a shower or he gets in the pool, his body gets annoyed. And part of it is because he has both of them. Eczema, it comes from a compromised skin barrier, which means you don't produce enough body oil. And so Andrew has basically, when he comes out of a shower, he's completely splotchy, right? He's got red splotches everywhere. And he's sort of discovered that Benadryl isn't really worth it. It makes him sleepy, and it doesn't do enough. It just sort of seems to go away on its own, but it is a little bit itchy. And I do know that when people are allergic to water on their skin, it's actually can be quite difficult for him. I mean, Andrew's is kind of mild, but it can get to the point where they literally cannot take a shower. It's so hard. So, and when they do, they have to just get in, get the job done, get out. So literally like 1 minute showers. Jenny, no, I can't speak German. Okay, so, and my other son, Dane, has very typical eczema where it gets dry and scaly. He's gotten a lot of it on his neck, and over the years has created this scarring because of scratching it so much. And then he also gets it over his eyelids, a little bit on his arms, but not so much. Nailsteria, hello. And so this has been really difficult path with both of them. Jennifer Collins says, I get hives on my neck and chest when I take showers. So that probably is, you've got a little bit of that. It's aquacardia. I don't know. Anyway, just means water allergy. And so with Dane, it was pretty bad. And so we took him to the dermatologist and we were like, what do we do? And the dermatologist, he had been to a couple of them, and it was finally his last one that said, your son has a compromised skin barrier. So what happens is outside pathogens get in, that are just floating in the air. They land on his skin, and because he doesn't have enough body oil, basically, it gets irritated and gets annoyed. So, and then it just, the body sort of tries to fix things, and it will build up more cells that then, if they're not sloughing off appropriately, it's eczema. And it's itchy, and it can be very painful, and it can be very you just sort of become so self-conscious that you don't want anybody to see you. I know many people who will completely cover, they never ever not wear long sleeves. They're always wearing long sleeves or long pants to cover it. And so the dermatologist said, I want you to have him soak in a warm bath for 10 minutes every day, and then he's to pat himself dry, so leave some water on his skin, and then slather his skin with this really thick, I think Eucerin and Aveeno. I think they make, I know Aveeno does. I don't remember which one because Dane's now 13. And if he's 14, I'm going to feel really dumb. I think it might be. They all changed. They all changed during the summer, and it takes me the longest time to remember how old they are. Anyway, so, so my train of thought. Come back, Anna. So, okay, so anyway, slather on this really thick cream, and that is supposed to trap in the moisture from the shower. And after about 3 months, he bailed. And he was just like, this isn't worth it, Mom. I feel sticky. I feel hot. I feel gross. I would just rather take the eczema symptoms and the itching and the redness. And it got really bad on his face. And his eyes just, it was so red. I mean, his eyelids felt almost as red as my shirt. And he got a lot of ridicule at school. And I was just like, what do we do? What do we do? And we had started the business, and I had created our nail oil, and we're having great results with that. And so I started to really think about it. And I go, okay, compromised skin barrier. The body knows exactly what it's supposed to do. So the body's response is create body oil and the right blend of moisture and oil through your skin. Water is not moisture to the skin, as we know. I mean, there's the recommendations. Don't take hot showers if your skin gets dry and itchy because it strips away all of the oils. Hello? Okay, so then I said, Dane, start putting our oil on your skin. And within 3 days, this red was gone and all of his symptoms were gone. And I was like, wow. So that was like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And then Andrew, same thing. His skin was so dry, and he goes, Mom, it always feels like sandpaper. And I'm like, just slather on the oil. Do it just enough so that you feel like you have this very light, and it's hard to describe to people who have eczema and psoriasis what normal body oil feels like, because you shouldn't feel greasy, except, I mean, we're used to the T-zone kind of thing, those of us who have oilier faces. That's when the oil's building up and producing more. So, but what does the body oil feel like on your arms? It doesn't feel like much. And so that's how much you want on your skin. And so they started using it, and Andrew his skin has been great. Dane, he is 14. Bradley's 11. And so both of them, it's just amazing what's happened with their skin. So we actually started doing a test group. When was this? In like the last 6 months. And we put it out there of those of you who have really bad psoriasis and eczema. So we started this small test group to see what, and so we sent them all oil, and the results were astounding. And of course, it didn't really surprise me because I had seen what happened with my boys, but the amount of pain that these women had experienced for a couple of them for a decade or even 2 decades, and for them to say, my husband has never seen my skin look this great, and the itching's gone. And so it really makes me want to cry. So we have now opened up it's still we have a closed support group. We had created that for these women, and any men can join too. But we created this group to support them while they were going through this process. And some were seeing results in as little as 2 or 3 days, and some it took them about 3 weeks before they started. They were seeing little bits, but before they got really all of those symptoms in check, took 3 weeks. So that's kind of the range. And so to hear these women's stories, and we started that group, we keep it closed. You just apply to join, just click the button, and we have moderators in there who are trying to add you, as if we do our best to get you in that day or the next day. And what we want to do is keep that group supportive and loving, and we don't want any slimy trolls and people who would be mean, because those of you who have eczema and other skin issues, you've dealt with mean all your life and you don't need that. So that's what our support group is. So in order for those of you who have skin issues and you want to check this out, see how the oil, because the before and after pictures, they make my heart sing. And I can sing, but I won't sing here. And so you will go to, we have all of the information that you need, and I'll get you the links and all of the information that I've put together. So go to myblisskiss.com/healthy skin. So that is my story with Dane. And so sometimes I really, really wish there was an MD next to my name, because a lot of people would take me more seriously. But it is sad to say that I know a lot more than a lot of dermatologists. And that's because they can't know everything. They have this vast knowledge, and as they practice, there's certain things that show up more and more, so then they get really good at those things. And so the things that are out on the periphery, they don't pay attention to as much. And here's the thing that drives me nuts. So there's the National Eczema Foundation, whatever, that doctors actually go to as a reference, and they reference taking a bleach bath, which is like dipping in a pool. That you put a tablespoon or two in your bath, and then you soak in that. And so now you're doing two things. You're taking something they say, okay, it kills bacteria. Yes, it does that. It also kills all kinds of other good things on your skin. And it strips the body oil, and you're soaking in water, which doesn't moisturize the skin. The body knows the solution. The moisture to the skin is oil. And so that's why our oil is so amazing, because you guys hear me talk about this a lot, but the first ingredient is jojoba. And jojoba is actually not a oil. It looks like it, but is a wax ester. And it grows on the jojoba plant. It's a bush, and comes as seeds, and then those seeds are pressed in hydraulic presses and squeezes out the oil, or the jojoba. It squeezes it all out, very much like olives and creating olive oil. So here's the cool thing. All the oils naturally, including jojoba, are antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal. So the thing that bleach is supposed to be doing, our oil does. And so under the microscope, jojoba looks almost identical to body oil. And so it's actually, let me see if I can find my picture. I'll show you guys. And if I can't, I have articles over on, it's not showing up. But I have articles over on nailcarehq.com, and that you'll see the pictures there of what does the molecular, it's a picture version of what is the molecular structure of body oil, and it's a long skinny line. And what is the structure of jojoba, and it's almost identical. And then what's really interesting is when you look at the structure of olive oil, rather than being a straight line like this, olive oil has 3 branches that come out this way. And so when you look at it under the microscope, you go, which one's going to penetrate the skin and the nail plate better? It's the one that looks almost like body oil. So that's why the jojoba is so important. And then I get a lot of people asking me, well, if jojoba is so fantastic, why don't we just use it all by itself? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, there is this synergistic thing that happens with jojoba, and jojoba actually will, since it comes up through, so since sebum comes up through our skin and our nails, the jojoba is actually able to penetrate the opposite direction. And so it sort of, there is positive and negative electrons that, for those of you who have taken science, and it pulls molecules together or it pushes them apart like a magnet. And so, not knowing, not being a chemist, I only can guess, hypothesize that it's helping to pull in the other oils. So the oils then are working synergistically different than just jojoba. And so then there's, and actually it's my mom and my best friend. They both were like, yeah, if Anne, that's my mom calls me Anne, if they are so awesome, why don't I just get the jojoba straight? And so they tried it, and within a week, both of them were like, yeah, no, it doesn't work the same as yours, Anna. And I'm like, I know, sorry, can I say I told you so? But that's because I had been using the oil for over a year. And these nails are short. So I know a lot of you like to see my nails. They are short for me. This is very short, but that's because I have horses. And so these nails are because of our oil. And it's because what oil does is it penetrates into the nail plate and it plasticizes it, which is a fancy word for making it stronger and making it more flexible. So that way when you whack your nails into something, they're gonna bend and they won't snap, which is very, very cool, because you guys, you all know when you smash your nail into a door or a counter or whatever, and you're like, yep, that one just went. And then you look down and you're like, oh my gosh, it's still there. Look, it's kind of like those of us, we get all excited, and our husbands, partners, family are like, really? You're getting this excited about a nail that didn't break? Yes, we do get excited about these things. Okay, so the other thing about jojoba is I want to show you guys that you don't know when you are looking on Amazon or at the health food store, you don't know the kind of quality that you're getting. And the reason that this came to my attention was there was a test that was done in Australia with olive oil. And a company took all the olive oils, that whole big smattering of them that were on the grocery shelves in Australia, and they tested them to see if they were truly 100% olive oil, and they were not. Most of the big brands, there was a couple that were, but surprisingly, even big brands down in Australia were cut with cheaper oils. So we really, really don't always know what we're getting. And especially jojoba usually comes in a brown bottle. And so I did this little experiment. Can you guys, let's see, Facebook's higher. It's hard, but can you guys tell the difference? One of these bottles has complete straight jojoba. The other one is half jojoba and half mineral oil. And mineral oils just derived from the petroleum industry. It's a byproduct of making gasoline. So it is definitely not something that I want to put on my skin, and it is not penetrable. The skin and the nails, it cannot penetrate. It just sits on top. Can you tell? Even a couple members of my team weren't sure. This one has been cut. This one is not. It's really, I know the lining makes it hard. Anyway, you don't know what you're getting, especially when you're gonna buy cheaper. So, all right, you guys know I run a question, a contest, and I'm going to give you the answer right now, and then later towards the end, and you don't quite know, a lot of times I get the 2-minute warning and then I'm like, oh, get the question in. Okay, so this was fun. I'm experimenting with things, and I'm learning how to do nail art videos. It's only taken me 6 years. I'm always admiring all of the amazingly talented bloggers and microbloggers who do these videos, and the YouTubers, and the amount of time it takes to set everything up and get the lighting right and then do the nail art, and hopefully your hand isn't on top of everything that you're doing, and then you got that part done, and then you got to take it over to editing on your computer, and you got to do all of these things and remember to splice things in the right order so that you don't think that this happened to one of my favorite bloggers. She accidentally got it wrong in editing, so it looked like you stamped and then you cleaned your stamping plate and then she stamped on her nail. And in actuality, if you were to follow that, I was gonna say ink, the polish would dry on the stamper and it would never transfer to your nail. So these are little details that all of these amazing bloggers and microbloggers get in and teach you. So anyway, and then they put in all of the fancy stuff and the watermarks, and it's a process. So I have great respect for everybody. Anyway, I know you guys have heard about this from Simply Nailogical. She discovered this, I don't know how, but many of you swatchers have used this. This is a peel-off base coat that is very different from other peel-off base coats. I've used our Simply Peel, which is a latex barrier that we use around our skin. I've used that as a peel-off base coat, and that works great. So I thought, you know what, everybody's raving about this. I will try it. Well, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to protect my nails. They were naked. And so I protected them with a couple of layers of regular ridge filling base coat. And then I put this on. And then I did my practice videos of, here, let's just do that, record it, see how it looks, and how did I do? Did I get my hand all in the way? And so I did the nail art, and then I screwed up, and then so I went and removed it with acetone. And you know how when your nails are naked, they sort of have this matte finish and the ridges show back up? It was still glossy and smooth, and I was like, what the heck happened? So I'm sitting there and I'm letting it soak for another 5 minutes, and it's not coming off. Anyway, here's the answer. UNT does not dissolve in acetone. I learned that. So it's really interesting that it works as a peel-off base coat on your natural nail plate, but when you apply it on top of polish, the chemicals, remember we talk about all of these chemicals interacting. This chemical structure of the ingredients, which is only 4 ingredients, but when you mix that with a regular polish, it turns into this hard plastic. Well, it's not hard, because when I finally got it off, it was stretchy and flexible, but it doesn't dissolve in acetone. So like my peel off base coat was stuck. It just wouldn't come off. And I was like, snap, what am I going to do now? So I actually ended up taking a really fine file and buffing through that product. Unfortunately, I had 2 layers of regular base coat, so I was just really careful to not go through to my nail plate. But even then, I still had to let it sit for like 10 minutes and then had to work at it. And I was like, oh, please don't destroy my nails, because anytime you scrape at your nails, you can potentially be putting big divots in the nail plate. And I actually have Doug Schoon's electron microscope, there we go. His electron microscope photographs of what happens. Oh, look. I forgot I had that. So here's what, let me switch, which one's which? I didn't label. Oh, this is from peeling. This is just normal peeling. So like if you were to peel off nail polish, that's what's gonna happen. And then this is from scraping from an orange wood stick. Isn't that amazing? From an orange wood stick. So even with that, we have to be really careful. And then this is scraping with a higher grit nail file. And then this, you can see the residual coating of gel. So he originally did this related to gel. If you're sort of really scraping with these two, if you're peeling off the gel, and then if you're filing it and scraping, and then also this would be what's left over. And if you have this, you need to re-soak with more acetone. Rewrap yourself, reclip yourself, and soak for another 5 to 10 minutes to get rid of this. Do not scrape it off or your nails are going to look like this. Okay. Did I finish what I was going to talk about? Probably. So, those of you, you've got your answer, write it down. Fierce Fat Firefly just got Doug Schoon's book last week. Yay! Okay. I have a secret to leak. Okay, you ready? I'm so excited about this. We've been working so hard on this and it's not ready. But because to reward all of you guys for being on this, you get the first peek. Okay, so this is going to be our new travel kit. And I love that it's this beautiful, beautiful red, and we got this embossed with our logo, and it's so pretty, you guys. Okay, so can I do this without everything falling out? So this is a travel kit unlike any travel kit you will find on the market. Usually you get the ones that say they're a travel kit and they have 16 versions of clippers and terrible files with points and things that you should never ever use. And so I would never recommend any of those. They're worthless. So, but this has everything you guys need. So you get one of our oil pens. You get it in fragrance free just to make life easier for my team because we do package these things up ahead of time. And then if you're brand new, you'll appreciate that. And then also if you are not sure about our other fragrances, we want you to order the little scent samples so that you know what fragrances you like and test them on your skin because some people are allergic to one fragrance but not another. So those little scent samples are really, really important. And just so you know, they are actually mixed into the oil and you get about 8 drops. They are not just the fragrance oil that then you think you can pour into something else. We want you to be able to test the oil with the fragrance on your skin and make sure you don't have an allergic response. So you get one of our oil pens, you get our lip balm, our Simply Kiss lip balm, and this one rocks my world. If you've never tried it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's just another lip balm. All they're trying to do is sell lip balm. Well, my mother's our chemist. I created the oil recipe, but she's created our lotion stick and our lip balm. And it took her quite a long time. Now I understand why products will be in research and development for 1 to 2 years because it takes time to do all of these. And so anyway, I said, Mom, I want you to create a lip balm that lasts on my lips all night long because I hate waking up in the morning and having chapped lips. And so it took her a long time, but she did it. And we've had a lot of people who have actually have really, really chapped lips all winter long and have been absolutely amazed at how fast their lips have healed using this. Okay, and then you get our lotion stick mini. And I just love, love, love this. So this is the other thing that my mom created. And she did it for my request was, I want you to create a lotion. I hate regular lotions that have water because water's not good for your skin. So, and then they rinse off when you wash your hands and then you have to reapply them and they feel slimy and sticky and I hate them. So I said, Mom, our oil is really light and we have some people who have to work with paper, fabric, and water, and that's their jobs, so they cannot get away from it. I said, I want you to create something that we can put on top of this very light oil that washes away easily, and I want it to seal it in and create this water resistant barrier. And so I thought it was more beeswax, which a lot of companies do. Nope, it was not more beeswax. It was actually less beeswax, and then the magic ingredient was a little bit of lanolin. And so that's why this is so awesome. And it's part of, for those of you who haven't heard of our overnight hydration treatment, this is, so we have the little mini plus overnight nitrile gloves and our oil. And so anyway, go to the website, take a look at that. I'm talking a lot about products today, but it's really, really important. And if any of you, as we get towards the end, I want to answer questions that are related to nail care and stuff. So anyway, mini lotion stick. Some people use this as a lip balm, but I apply this to the back of my hands and then rub the back of my hands together because I don't like greasy palms. That's just me. So love this. And then you also get, come here please, you get our crystal nail file. And these are made in the Czech Republic, and they are my absolute favorite. I've tried a lot of them. This surface, I don't know how they do it, but this surface is guaranteed for life. I've only had one person file down this surface. And I think, I don't know why, but I just love, love, love it. And so the reason that, the thing that I really like is that it's protected. Since it is crystal glass, it's protected in here. It's not going to break in your purse or your backpack. Love it. And then this is the last product that we're working on, and this is why I'm not sure it's going to be ready for Black Friday. We're trying so hard, and I don't know if it's going to happen. Because we're waiting for the infant nail clippers. And these are hard to find in stores. And there's a reason that I want infant nail clippers. And I wanted to compare them, show you. Hang on. All right. So the sizing difference is, let's see if I can put these next to each other. So your normal clippers are that size, and then your infant ones are the smaller. Here's why I like them, is because actually I was trying to use these last night, and the larger size, because I pick at my skin. I pick at these little pieces of skin that's right here. And so when I try and get in there with bigger nail clippers, because this corner is bigger, I have trouble getting in there. So then what do I want to do? I want to work at this even more so I can get it clipped. Oh, that's not a good idea. So the whole point of the infant nippers, because this corner is smaller, it's really good at getting in there and just cutting the dead skin that's no longer live. And so this is why we have these. So one, for people who bite their nails, or if you get a little snag that needs more than just the file, that's part of why the nail clippers are there too. So these have to be with you all the time. And so a big part of why this travel kit came about, oh, I want to tell you one more thing. The kit came about because we started another group to help with people who bite their nails or pick at their skin. And the results with that one are amazing too. And what we've realized is it's really important to have your tools of the trade that keep you from doing this destructive behavior that a lot of times boredom or anxiety, these kind of things cause us to just start working at our skin or start chewing on things. And so when you have your toolkit with you at all times, you can take care of that. You can use your oil and your lotion stick to keep everything soft, and so you don't chew on it. But I'm using my phone. I wanted to show you guys. Oh, I can do it with this. So I went traveling with Corey. We went and did a business planning weekend at the beach. And so every night I have all of my stuff. I do my oil and my lotion and my lip balm right before bed, right before going to sleep. So I have all of this on my nightstand. And sorry, I try and drop this. And so I was like, Corey, do you have your lip balm? Because he usually has it. And, oh, did you get a lotion stick? Because a lot of times I have all of the parts in all of my different makeup bags and toiletry bags. And I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. And he goes, you do have a travel kit now. and it's all in there. So why don't you get the travel kit? And so I did, and I was like, yay, I have all my stuff. And sometimes I like to watch YouTube videos real quietly so that before I go to sleep. And I forgot the little stand to hold up my phone. And so I was like, here, let's put my phone in there. Anyway, it worked great, you guys. So it worked great as a phone stand. Okay, sorry, geeky me. But anyway, that is our travel kit. We're working really hard to get it by Black Friday. I don't know if it's gonna work. So we let our email list know first when new products are available. So go over to myblisskiss.com and sign up for our email, and you'll be the first to know when it's available. So this is gonna be an awesome, awesome, awesome Christmas gift. I'm beyond excited. Beyond. Okay, I got about 22 minutes, so let me see if there's some questions real quick over here on Facebook. Let's see. Amy says it's very interesting. She has Hashimoto's and celiac, and one of the symptoms is a type of psoriasis. It creates very painful rashes. I've purchased your oil several times. And is it my oil that I'm referring to? Yes. Do you recommend applying oil after the shower so not to waste it or feel very greasy? On wet skin or just damp skin? So Carmen, I actually apply it, and so my boys, I put a few drops on my skin and then just rub that in. And you'll feel if you've got enough, and then just apply a few more drops. But that's part of why we sell the 4-ounce bottle too, is because it is so good for your skin, and it does take a while to use it up. It really does. So it depends on whether you take a shower every day, and whether you do your whole body, or whether you just do your legs, or just the dry spots in your elbows. Oh, look at that, a bruise. Dang, horses. Anyway, so, try it. And the great thing is that if you want to get the little dropper bottle, you can refill that by simply pushing the little nozzle, the little dripper, push that with your thumb, and it pops right out, and you can fill that with the 4-ounce bottle, and then keep the 4-ounce bottle in your refrigerator. And we have somebody who's kept it for 4 years, so practically since we started the business. She has it in her fridge, and she says it smells the same, works the same. Awesome. Natasha, did I pick the base coat that I like? Yes, and I am finishing up that article. Oh, there's Carmen said the same thing. Okay. Gosh, you guys have been chatty over here on Instagram, which is fantastic. Okay, let's see if I can get some of these, you guys. Let's see. Great, yeah, onto the great peel off base coat. It is. Let's see, sorry you guys. Teresa says thanks. Her says you look beautiful. Thanks as always. Thank you, dear friend. Love the earrings. Oh yeah, these are cute. I love shopping and going to yard sales, and so I think I found those for like 25 cents. I love those kind of finds. You guys are loving the idea of the travel kit. Good. Hang on for that. Send us prayers that all the gods and goddesses will make it happen quicker than later. Teresa says, I love my big bottle of Bliss Kiss oil. I do too. I have a big one sitting in my bathroom. All of my boys do too. Teresa says something about the nitrile gloves. I've had actually a couple of questions that a couple of people have asked me, are these reusable? And because they're about 30% thicker, they are created for, and this is part of why they're pink and they're pearly pink. The lighting makes it hard, but they're about 30% thicker because they were developed for the medical industry who works with chemotherapy drugs. So these will, you can have your hands in chemotherapy drugs for 4 hours before they fail. So I really, really love them. They feel very, very different from regular nitrile gloves, which is why I chose them. Plus they're pretty pink. It would have been great if they came in red, but I'm okay with it. And anyway, so I used these last night and they work just fine if you want to reuse them. What I did learn is that as you're pulling it off, so I'm not going to put my hand in there, but as you're pulling it off, you need to pull the finger parts first, and then you're going to notice that it's gotten super tight around your wrist. So just stick your finger in there to release the vacuum, and then they slide right off. So very cool. The overnight hydration treatment, I think I'm going to start calling it the intensive treatment. Because you don't have to do it overnight. You can do it for a couple hours while you're watching a movie or television. You can, if you're sitting at the computer for a few hours, you can do that too. And what you do is this time is the only time I recommend you slather your nails with our oil. And like you want a bead of oil underneath each one. Not a whole drop, but you want a bunch of oil sitting there, because what happens is your body heat warms up the oil so it penetrates faster. And so then you cover the rest of your hands with the lotion stick, put the nitrile gloves on, and it really does make all of that penetrate faster, so that when you take it off, I don't know if you guys can see it. I hate it when YouTubers, they're like, see my nails, no. Anyway, yeah, you kind of can't see it anymore, but I do have pictures over on nailcarehq.com of the oil goes completely through the tips and turns them transparent. It's awesome. That's what makes them stronger and more flexible. So check those things out on our website too at myblisskiss.com. We explain all of it. Every product has these great explanations of why I created it, what the features and benefits and all of the things, and why you're going to love it. So latex gloves, yes, you can use them as long as you're not allergic. Teresa says, I swear by the crystal nail file. And we do have both large, and she's putting in there. Thank you, Teresa. She has both the small and large. She's used them over for a year. Well, I mean, 4 over a year and still work great. Mimi, about the travel kit being released, cross her fingers, we're shooting for Black Friday, but the whole team's starting to go, I just don't think it's going to happen, because the nail clippers probably aren't going to get to us in time. So we're hoping, please, at least the beginning of December, so you guys can order them for Christmas presents, because literally I want to give these to everybody I know. And everybody who sees one of these is like, oh my gosh, I have to have one of those. So I love it when I create something that we know it's going to change your world. Because as many of you know, our mission is we believe in creating life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience, and we live by that every day. Why do you prefer the clippers to cuticle-specific tools that are smaller? I'll tell you why. I have a pair, and I'm guessing that Mistress Pirate, you are talking about these babies. And here's why I don't like them, is because of how sharp they are. These are like needle sharp. And this area, where's the picture? This area that everybody thinks is the cuticle is not. It's live skin, it's the proximal fold. It's very, very important. But see this dead skin on the nail plate? That's the cuticle. So when we say we need to remove the cuticle, polish doesn't stick to skin. So if you polish over this, it's just going to start chipping. So removing the cuticle, that's a good thing because we want our manicure to last longer. And it's very important in the salon world because they need acrylic to bond to your entire nail plate or gel. And so that's got to go to make the service work better and last longer. But this, that's got to stay. That's live skin. It's very, very important to keep germs and bacteria out of the matrix, which is right under this skin. And so never, ever, and I know you see a lot of Russian people doing it, but you never, ever want to cut this skin. And because I'm a picker, I will, if I get this little piece of skin, I will get in there and cut it. The problem is that I cannot not, they're so sharp and they're so pointed, I cannot not cut live skin. Always. I always end up cutting live skin. And so then that gets infected and it bleeds and it oozes and it's horrible. And I know you guys have all experienced it. And so that's why I think those should be never purchased. And if you have them, throw them away. And I know they're expensive too. Okay. Let's see. I've done an overnight hydration a couple of times now. In the morning when I take the gloves off, my nails are clear but flattened as they have absorbed water. Why is that? It's not, because they've actually absorbed oil. Because the way I know this is because when I get in a shower, which I don't do anymore with naked nails, but when I have, and the nail tips turn completely clear from the hyponychium where the nail plate leaves the nail bed. The nail bed is your pink part. It drives me nuts when people call the nail plate the nail bed. It's not. And so the whole tip will become clear and very, very flat. Whereas when I've done an overnight hydration treatment, the oil is penetrating in through the tips. So all of those layers at the tips, it's penetrating in through there, and it's also penetrating from the bottom and the top. And for me, it doesn't go all the way. It goes about halfway that my tips turn clear. So that's how I know it's not water. And your hands may feel like they're wet in the gloves, especially because I sleep with them overnight. And I only do it like once a week, whenever I take a manicure off. And so they will feel like they've gotten wet, but actually when you take the gloves off, they're not. Your nail may have flattened just a little bit, but you'll notice that it goes back fairly quickly. So I hope I answered that question. Also, some of you may notice too, I noticed this morning a couple times, when you take the gloves off, and because you've got so much oil and stuff and it's softened everything that's on your skin, it's softened all of the dead skin that's on your palms. And so you rub them together and you get all of this skin. So just go rinse it. But it's like your hands will just feel so soft. It's amazing. And actually one of my team members, Kathy, she did a test while she was sitting at the computer, and she put on the lotion stick and she put a glove on one hand and then waited a couple of hours and just had the lotion without the glove on the other hand. And you literally, when she took it off, you could tell that the skin was so much softer. So those nitrile gloves and the heat that your body creates by warming up the product makes it penetrate better. So let's see. Does the travel kit have the small or the large crystal file? It has the small. Oh, see, Corey's getting in there and answering everything for you. You're awesome, honey. Price, $24.99. Say, why am I even answering these things? Corey, see, the next comment is, okay. Corey's in there. I appreciate you, honey, though. Teresa says, I used the cuticle oil on a severe cut I got last year and it didn't leave a scar. And you know what? I had my eyebrows microblading done to my eyebrows, which I absolutely love. Best investment ever. Because my eyebrows were blonde, and only this part of my eyebrows, the rest you couldn't even see. Anyway, so it's a temporary tattoo that lasts about a year and a half. But it does create scabs, and because they're getting this pigment into your skin. And so I just used the pen, and what was great was, rather than applying it with my finger, which would then pull at the scabs, I just gently use the pen to put it over the scabs, and I couldn't even feel it. So what it did was it kept those scabs nice and soft, so that, as a scab is healing and it starts to shrink and it starts to pull at your skin, and that's what makes it itch. So when you keep the scab soft, because it's nature's Band-Aid, when you keep it soft, then it doesn't pull at your skin and itch. You guys are so awesome, so many of you. If you guys scroll through, so many people are just loving the products. Does your oil work on scalps with psoriasis? Yes. You will want to use your medicated shampoo. We had one person who joined the group, and the oil didn't work for her, only because she had it all over her scalp, and so it was difficult to get the oil on all of it without her hair looking totally greasy, and so she decided to not. But if it's just like a certain patch, I know several people who have done that, and they're able to get in there and get that on the patch, and then yes, it works great. Teresa, we should hang out sometime. Yard sales and antiquing, love doing that. Yes, I do too. Then how is that safe for chemo in the bodies? Oh, you guys, I know. I am surprised. This is the amazing thing about our bodies. And it's when I was talking about these gloves and being able to handle the chemotherapy drugs before they fail. And then she's talking about, but then we do this inside. And yeah, it's really hard because it's killing the cancer cells, but it's also killing a boat ton of other good stuff. And so it is amazing. It's amazing that we don't all die when you're doing chemotherapy. It just amazes me, and that we actually survive it. It's not comfortable. My stepdad died of cancer. Actually, my father did too. He had throat cancer, but I didn't watch him because we lived too far apart. But my stepdad, I watched him go downhill, and he actually, because he did chemotherapy and he did a bone marrow transplant, I think, he got an extra couple of years, but it was a tough couple of years. He was tired all of the time, but he still enjoyed it. He was awesome. So it just amazes me. So I've watched that process from a distance, but still. So many of you guys are getting in there. Did I pick, Natasha, did I pick the flavor of the lip balm? That had gotten tabled for a little bit just because of being very busy with other things, but I've sent everything off to my mom. She is going to be doing different variations for us to find out, because it's very easy to over flavor, and to just also to decide, do we want it slightly sweetened so that you can actually taste the flavor, or do we not sweeten it at all so that you only smell the flavor? So tell me, what would you rather have? That would be actually good information. So tell me, do you like your lip balm sweet, or do you like just to be able to smell it? Because when it is sweet and it tastes good, we can lick our lips more and consume more of the product. And so as a business owner, you go, that's great, let's just sweeten it so y'all buy it more. And many of you know I am a rare CEO, business owner. Corey's the CEO, that will tell you use less. Use less. Less is more. And so I don't know which way I'm leaning, because I don't necessarily want you to buy more just because it's sweet. So there we are on this. How do you apply it to your scalp? Let's see if somebody answered that. Fingers. I would just get in there, spread your hair, and find your spot, and then just add a little bit with your fingers. Or you could use the pen too. The pen would do great. Fierce Fat Firefly, those cuticle tools look scary to me. They are, and they are our own self-inflicted torture devices. We shouldn't have them. So for those of you who don't know about it, it's these little babies. They gotta go. Don't buy them. Teresa says, I cringe every time I see a nail tech that cuts the proximal fold off their client's fingers. And actually, this is a really great way. Thank you, Teresa, for bringing this up. This is a great way for knowing whether you have found a good nail professional if you do want to pamper yourself and go to a salon rather than do it at home. You walk in and you ask them, where is the cuticle? And if they tell and how do you remove it? And if they tell you it's this skin and they bring out these babies, turn around and walk out. Please, please don't, because so many people know they'll go into the salon and they'll go, don't do this, but then they still will. And you do not have to sit there. You don't have to take it. Even if you've paid for the service already, leave. It's not worth it, because all of this skin will get infected. You could actually damage your nail matrix because of that. It's not worth it. So if they are going to remove the cuticle, they should have some sort of cuticle remover gel type of product, and they should have a tool that gently scrapes that dead skin off. And if you're unsure about the cuticle, look at your toes, your toenails. Since none of us really, unless you go for a regular pedicure, you can see the skin on your nail plate. That's your cuticle. Okay, I'm gonna run out of time here. I'm gonna get the thing. Okay, what happens with UNT, the UNT base coat? I know you guys have been waiting for that. So I will pick a winner. I try to pick a winner today, tomorrow, and it doesn't end up happening. So I'm just going to say I will pick a winner by Monday. Okay. Man, so many of you guys. Okay, so Joe, if it, I love that name, Joe Mama, Pink and Squeaky. If it covers your scalp, just, if you can get in there and use the pen, I think that might be the best way, so that you're not making your hair all greasy. Let's see. Okay, there's my 2 minutes. Okay. Team, I hope you're screenshotting those so we can grab the first 5 people who comment, and then I will choose a winner. The reason I do that is because I've found that some people come in later and they see the answer and then they just chime in, and it's like, yeah, no, you really weren't here to get everything. And nails won't grow. What do you recommend? Go to nailcarehq.com, or actually Google nailcarehq.com, grow nails faster. I have that article. So real quick, I have over 90 articles at nailcarehq.com. That's where I teach you about everything. I have all of our products you can find at myblsskiss.com, and then we've also got this amazing YouTube channel, and I've been dictating most of my articles, still working on the last few. Gonna start doing nail art tutorials, and we have some fun stuff planned, you guys. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. I might just pull my hair out doing all of it, but it's gonna be a really fun project. And I've been wanting to do nail art videos for 6 years, so this is very exciting for me. Okay, let me see if I've got one more question. I had 32 seconds. I probably should just say goodbye, you guys. I will be here next Thursday, and we also, at the beginning of the month, it's Corey Learns, and I haven't figured out what Corey's gonna learn, but he's gonna paint my nails and learn some nail art technique. So I will talk to you guys later. Feel free to email us if you have any questions, and have an amazing, amazing week. Bye. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.